We talk about the Big Bang as though it were an explosion, with noise, shock waves, a deafening roar. But what if I told you that, at the very moment the universe began, there was no sound at all? Zero. Silence. That twist alone is worth asking. Did the universe ever sound in its birth? In everyday life, a bang implies a loud shock, a pressure wave, noise. So we naturally imagine the Big Bang as something like that. The name itself, Big Bang, invites us to think explosion, rupture, audible crash. But here's a critical piece. Sound is a mechanical wave. It requires a medium, something with particles, atoms, molecules, electrons, through which pressure fluctuations propagate. Without a medium, there's nothing to carry the vibration. So the key question: at the exact moment of the Big Bang, was there any medium at all? Or was it silent in the truest sense? Investigation. Classical sound is well understood. Push on a gas or liquid, it compresses. That pressure travels as successive compressions or rarefactions. To have that, you need particles. At the moment of singularity, if the term even makes sense in classical general relativity, there was no ordinary matter, no atoms, no molecules, no well-defined space or medium in the familiar sense. Our physics breaks down there. Thus, the safest statement, given our current theory, there was no medium for classical sound propagation at that moment. So no sound in the usual sense. Later on, once the universe cooled and expanded, particles and plasma formed. That is when sound-like pressure waves become meaningful. In cosmology and early universe physics, scientists talk about acoustic modes or sound perturbations in the photon-baryon plasma, especially around phase transitions like the QCD or electroweak transitions. For more on this, see Shuraiak, The Sounds of the Little and Big Bangs. Link in description. Those pressure waves left tiny fingerprints in the cosmic microwave background, the faint glow still surrounding us today. When we map it, we see ripples of slightly hotter and cooler spots that match the pattern real sound waves would create in a dense plasma. It's solid evidence that, while the very first moment was silent, the young universe later vibrated like a giant cosmic speaker, and the CMB is the frozen record of that ancient hum. The following is a reconstruction of the sound from the early universe, based on the picture of the CMB data shown on the screen. The reconstruction uses data from the CMB and translated into frequency that we can hear. Conclusion. Here's the twist. The singularity, the beginning of everything, was silent. By all definitions of classical sound, there was nothing there to carry it. The name Big Bang is a metaphor, borrowing from what we know, but misleading if taken too literally. But the universe did begin to sound later, once it had particles and plasma. Those sound like waves, pressure fluctuations or acoustic modes, are what cosmologists refer to when they talk about the sound of the universe. Reconstructions or sound files you've seen are based on those later epochs, not the singularity itself. So the myth to bust, there was a deafening roar when the universe began. In fact, physics says, silence, at least at first. Next time someone says Big Bang, don't picture fireworks. Picture the most profound silence. Until the universe got going, particles formed, and sound in the broad, physical sense started working. Curiosity is your best tool. Question the metaphors. If something sounds too loud to believe, maybe it was actually quiet. Thanks for thinking this through with me. See you next time.